Hi there everyone, it's Todd, and today we're going to be taking a look at key EMAs. Now, this is by far my favorite indicator on TradingView and the one I wish I knew about when I first begun. And what I'm referring to exactly are these blue, red, purple, grey, and then the triangles, the yellow, white, red, blue, and the circles. These all have their, and they all tell me something different about a stock. So, for example, when the blue and the red cross, and they give a little signal here, the yellow triangle there, that can indicate that a stock is going to trend higher, or at least it's giving a bit more of an idea that it's going to break up, and it's something for me to watch to see if I can then see a trade on a small frame. Same thing goes by the white indicator here, and when the blue and the red cross down. As we can see, when that indicator hit off, you would not want to be long on that stock. You would probably want to short it if you could. And to give you a bit of an overview of which key EMA indicator I'm referring to, it's the key EMAs by ColinMCK on TradingView. Now, here's how I have my line set up. So I have the blue line is my 10 EMA, and I'll send a link down in the below for MACD and EMAs. We have an article on Talking Trade about them to learn more. My red is the 20 EMA, the purple is the 50 EMA, and the grey dotted line is my 200 EMA, and the crosses are, planetary. Now, the golden cross and the death cross. The golden cross are when all the lines, or when the 50, the purple, and the grey cross up. That's just another indication, and same with the blue here. But ultimately, if we go to, say, a smaller time frame of, say, 4 hours, we can kind of, get a different perspective on, when things were going our way and when things weren't. And sometimes it gives false signals, so it's not always, not always right. But if we go 1 hour, if we now use the lines as kind of a, a support and resistance layer. So notice how here on the 15th of June, PAR's price went down and touched the 200 EMA. Now that is, what I and others would consider a major area of support. So, if PAR were to have continued and dropped down, that would have been very bad. But depending on circumstances, we could have taken the chance there and gotten in, or we could have waited until the price moved up higher and above the blue EMA line again to get back in. That would have been what we would have seen the trigger here to get back long on the stock, and would have ridden it possibly to out here or over here when we saw the price move underneath the 10 EMA line. So that would have been a rise of around 17%. We could have made a nice 17% gain right there, and again, a bit of a false signal here in a way, that it crossed up, but it didn't continue going up. But the last candle there is quite high. That is where, multiple time frames come in. So we go back to, say, 4 hours, and, that same day, on 4 hours it went back down, and that gives a bit more of a clearer picture there on what we were looking at before on the key EMAs. And again, it usually bounces off the 50 EMA purple line here. Now let's go to another chart here. Let's go to, let's say, CML. Okay, and we're looking at, we'll look at the daily to start with. You can see we got a trigger here when things moved up on this day here. We saw a breakout, obviously, but we also saw the cross here, and the next day following we saw it open quite high but then we also saw it drop back down. And what we're seeing now is the price retreat and back down almost to the 10 EMA that's now gone up, obviously. And if we go to a 1 hour chart, we can see that the price, it shot up and it stayed above that 1 hour, but then it dropped back down here. And ultimately, we would have wanted to get back out up here, when we saw volume dropping off, or when we saw a big red candle, like here. And, we saw the price drop down to the 20 EMA, and we sort of saw it find support there, find a base, where volume dropped down here. And then, only now, yesterday at around 11 a.m., we sort of saw, volume increase down here. And, that last candle was a bit iffy. But if we saw it break up here, that would have been, pretty good. Again, if we go 5 minutes, just to give a bit of different idea. Again, we see it in a much shorter time frame, and we see a few signals. But we also see, we see a way to get whether we should still be in a trade or not. On minutes, that's a very short time frame. And I guess at the first sign of, exiting, and that was actually funny enough, where I exited at 40. I entered down at, it was 25. So, I saw volume increasing. And I, took that chance, a very stock that had volume back then for the time. And then come the end of that day, volume shot it up again. So that. And also on the 5 minutes, we can see it go a bit down past its support level on the grey 200 EMA on 5 minutes. But that could have been, the time to say, okay, perhaps it's found support, because there wasn't much selling pressure. And it also depends on the fundamentals of the stock as well, a little bit. Go back to 1 hour and just have a look again. It didn't bother to touch its 50 EMA, but it did find support just below its 20 EMA. Let's try another one, PPK. Okay, now let's go back to daily. And as we can see, PPK, has been a downtrend, but an indicator to potentially get back into this stock would be if the candles started to move above the blue line, above the 10 EMA. Reason being is because look what happened last time when that happened. Moved above and then just kept on going up. And then the lines cross. Now the reason why PPK is a bit different is because we have a support line here, where the last time it sort of found support right at this $3 mark. And it's a nice round number too. So personally, I would, again, everything in this video is not financial advice, just for education purposes. I would perhaps re-entering here if PPK is $3.20. And then if I see volume increase down below here, because there's been quite a bit of sell volume, and there may be, there may be more to come. There may be buyers to bring the price back up. So that is a sort of a brief overview of what exponential moving averages, the key EMA indicator, is. There'll be a link down in the description to discuss MACD, somewhat similar to moving averages, the key EMAs. And it's a good explanation of how to use these lines to better help you. And if you stick by them, and if you actually listen to them, and if you don't buy on just pure FOMO, they do help, I believe. There's something around you, they're principles to abide by, shall we say. They take the emotion out of your trading. So that is the key EMA indicator, and it's by, once again, it's by ColinMCK, and you can add it to your TradingView right now and play around. Happy trading, and I hope to see you in the next video.